we'll just excuse him kind of. Yes, all right, now you can make sure it's going. It is going? You said ready, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. All right, being at 7 o'clock, we are gonna call the town board meeting to order. The fire exits are outside of that door and at each end of the hall. There is a defibrillator across the hall if one is needed. We will continue to pledge allegiance to the flag and a moment of silence for all deceased residents of Hamlin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk, you can just do the roll call.
Okay, Probot.
Here.
Wilco.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Now, I meant to say now. I was looking at what goes out. Excuse.
Excuse me, yeah.
Jaeger.
Here.
And Bass.
Here. At this time, we're gonna have a public forum. If anybody in the audience wants to speak, please address the board as a whole. Keep your comments to around 5 minutes or so. I mean, if we have a discussion, it goes a little longer. But, so we have a letter right here from Austin Warner from 717 Martin Road, and he wishes to address us. So please, Austin, this is your moment.
Would you like me to stand up?
You don't have to.
Okay. Then I'll sit down.
Okay.
I can't understand why you would allow chickens in densely populated areas in the town. And the consensus of the public hearing, I thought, was basically the people that got up and had concerns was that it was more health-related issues than it was actually being in favor of chickens. And I really question giving 61 Hillcrest, Nathan Pacelli, a variance to have chickens and quail. He has, to my knowledge, code violations on the property that haven't been taken care of. And, you know, I think that should happen first. And I also don't blame the neighbors on 63 Hillcrest. He doesn't have a good track record and following town codes. Really, what's the point of having a code enforcement officer if we're not going to enforce the codes? I'm disappointed that the entire town board has let this happen. And that's about it. I got other things, but we'll save them for another day.
Well, I know he was out of compliance, but we are sending him back to the zoning board. I don't know, I was not at the last zoning board meeting. Did he go before, or was it this next one he's going before?
He is going, he came before the board, and they set a public hearing for the next zoning board meeting.
Okay, so as of right now, he does not have, because of the code violations, he is not allowed chickens and quail right now because of the code violations. And we sent him back to the zoning board so that they could, because there was a code violations to see, and so that will be up to them. Their next meeting next month, they'll have a public hearing and vote on it themselves. And see if that problem gets corrected or what happens with it, but I cannot tell you right now what they are going to do with that problem.
Well, what is it exactly, the one that he has to go back to?
Apparently, and I think I have it right, his shed, he has a greenhouse on it, and it's a little bit too bigger than the code allows. So he's not in compliance with that the shed is bigger than it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Were there any other code violations?
There were, that I'm
What
aware
were
of,
they?
but I'm not the person that brought the 11 code violations up. He did,
Well, you just brought them up tonight, so I just wondered what they were is all.
well, you could probably ask the attorney because I think he gave her the variances that he thought was out of code.
That paper that he gave me that night for me to
Yeah.
read over, well, I took it back, so I don't.
Oh,
I don't
did
have
he?
it- Yeah, I don't have it memorized.
So I guess you're
And,
right.
he was just reciting the, 5 criteria that the zoning board uses to determine whether they're gonna give a variance or not. There were no code violations that he had listed out.
Other than this one here.
Right,
But we did take care of that problem, that there is no valid chicken permit or quail permit right now because of the code violation. And he is going back in front of the zoning board with a public hearing and everything, and like I say, I do not run the zoning board, so I do not know what they will.
Sure.
But we did take care of that problem.
All right.
Is there anything else tonight? Want to bring anything else up while you got it, or another time?
No, we'll do it another night.
Okay, that's fine. Did we answer your question?
Excuse
Did
me?
we answer your questions?
I guess.
Okay.
But you know, there is one last thing.
Yes.
You know, when the last time there was the local law where down at the lake, they were putting trailers or something in there. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but there was some concern about that. And you brought up that you were going to talk to Cheryl and start getting, you know, something done on just going around town. But that's more reactive than proactive. You know, before when I was in, Charlie would go, you know, he would usually spend at least an hour or two a day, well, at least a week, depending on what he had, and check around town and see if there was anything, you know, that needed to be addressed. And I think that's a real good idea to do that proactively, because you might find some more things.
And we have and our code enforcement, we have started that program already. We have started that she's taking not quite an hour a day, but probably like half an hour a day. She's driving around different areas in town, looking at things to address. She has seen a couple of things that she didn't know before, so the program is working. It's still in its infancy. We just started it a week and a half or so, or whatever, a couple weeks ago. So, but we have started it, and she has seen a couple of things already, so. And maybe she will head off something before it gets to be a problem. Maybe she can sit there and talk to a person before a ticket or whatever is needed, saying, hey, you need to do this, so please come in and see us at the office or whatever. So hopefully that will happen. All right. I guess you're up. I know you're here to discuss, well, this is a public forum.
Yeah, I know
Part of
it's
that,
on
so-
the agenda, but is it
That's
okay
all right.
if,
No, there is no real agenda. It's whoever wants to at this part of the meeting.
Okay, great. Well, my name's Mark Shannon. I'm from Bond Benefits Consulting and Shared Partners. We're in a local employee benefits consulting firm. And I met with Stephen and Megan over like a month ago or so regarding just benefits and health insurance and our services and how we can assist the town with really making sure that you guys have the most efficient and effective benefits package in place. I met with Norm a couple years ago and kind of picked back up with talking with
Megan.
Megan and Steve. And so, you know, at Bond, well, first a little bit about myself. I'm a local guy. I grew up in Clarkson, so I seeing St. Louis and sleeping up there. Went to
church at St. Louis growing up in Hamlin, and still live on the west side. West side is the west side, in Spencerport. I've been with Bond for 10 years, and what we do is we really focus on providing our clients with the best possible service when it comes to offering benefits and health insurance, not only for your employees, but for their families, and really for all of your constituents here in the town. One of the things that I do is I don't just work with employer-sponsored benefits, I also run our individual department as well. And I don't know if anybody's ever tried to deal with Medicare, or the complexities that go along with that, or the New York State Health and the individual market, where we provide solutions on the employer side of things, and also on the individual side with the programs that are available through New York State and through Medicare as a whole. But what I have here is just it's a lengthier presentation that I won't go through the whole thing with you guys tonight. But it just explains who we are as an organization and what our goals are for our clients. We work with a lot of municipalities and a lot of your neighboring villages and towns as well. I personally work with the village of Rockport, we work with the town of Sweden, work with the town of Clarkson as well. So we've got a really good village of Spencerport, so we have a really good stranglehold on the municipalities in your region. But the one thing I'd like to go through tonight is just this benefits blueprints page. I think this is the best way to kind of gain an understanding of what we want to do as your consultant and as your trusted advisor when it comes to the benefits side of things. Our goal for our clients is to help your organization provide a benefits package that meets the needs of your staff and their family members, no matter what stage of life that they're in. So you've got the young invincibles, you've got the family planners, you've got the people that have needs that go to the doctor more often, have a need to have a policy that may not have a deductible or may have a coverage benefit. Based on our conversations coming into tonight, really with what the town is currently offering, and with the current strategy that you're either receiving or not receiving from your existing broker, there's ways that you can bring down your costs as a town and increase the benefit to your employees and to your staff at the same time. And that's by utilizing more than just the gold option that's available through the organization, and bringing in some different options that are available to help people that may be overinsured on that gold option. Utilize pre-tax benefits that are available, where you can basically give employees a raise with some of these pre-tax benefits, and then at the same time decrease the premium that's being paid on a monthly basis. But really, on this page here, what it talks about is our benefits blueprint. This is our service model that our team provides, not just at open enrollment every year, but really throughout the year for new hires and for anybody that has a qualifying life event. So, just to go through these different pieces here, strategic planning is talking about the gentleman mentioned beforehand, being reactive or proactive with your benefits. We really want to be proactive and help you guys out with understanding what options are available in the market in the ways that you can utilize not only employer-sponsored benefits, but what's available on the individual side as well. And really talk with you about your goals as an organization too. I think when we talked, Steve, you mentioned that things haven't changed a whole lot with the benefits, year in, year out. And what we want to make sure that we do every year is talk about what your goals are so you can retain and attract the best employees, and then really make sure you're not just throwing away money, the premiums into the trash can that I like to call Excels, because the rates are increasing year after year. We're looking at another double-digit increase going into 2024 for the upcoming renewal, and it's not sustainable for any for-profit organization or not-for-profit organization. to be honest. Looking at your data, so since you guys are a company that's less, or an organization that's less than 100 employees, the data is limited. But what we can do is we can look at employees that have kids under 19 and talk to them about how Child Health Plus works, and instead of sending them to the state to figure out Child Health Plus, we actually help them get enrolled ourselves. So is anybody familiar with Child Health Plus as a program? So it's something that Paychex is not part of their service model. The reason being is because there's no broker commission that's involved when you utilize Child Health Plus. Child Health Plus is a program that if your family makes less than 400% of the federal poverty level, so for a family of four, it's $190,000 a year. Your kids, if they're under the age of 19, for $60 or less a month, get all medical and dental services covered in full, besides chiropractic care and orthodontic care. And it's utilizing the Excellus network. So you have the same network that you've utilized in the past, but then instead of paying the exorbitant amount for a family plan, you can utilize Child Health Plus alongside your existing employer's benefit. It's a great way to bring down your costs and increase your benefits at the same time. Does that make sense? Any questions?
What if you don't qualify for the New York Child Plus?
Yeah, great question. So you can make $1 million and still qualify for Child Health Plus. You can pay the full unsubsidized amount.
Well, I mean lower, because
Oh,
one,
Medicaid?
yeah,
Yeah, so we also help out with getting people enrolled in Medicaid in the Essential Health Plan through the New York State Health Program. So again, instead of employees or for residents being told, go deal with the state, and we all know, no offense, this is a town board, but we all know how dealing with New York State with the New York State Health can be, being on the phone for getting 5 different answers to the same question if you ask 5 different times. So we handle that for those individuals, and actually then all they have to do, they don't have to touch a computer, or they just talk to us over the phone, we handle everything, they get their ID card, then we handle their legal either. So with Child Plus, it is a good point for you. If you did make more money, you can still utilize that program at around $250 a month. That makes sense. And when you look at cost, you do the math with family plan versus 2-person policies, it's much greater than the $250 a month. Healthcare solutions, we kind of touched on that already with the employer sponsored plans and limits, and it goes all through Medicare, through Child Plus, through New York State Health, using everything as an option versus just one piece of it goes away. Wellness, we can help you put in place a wellness program, help your employees are more effective, more efficient, showing up for them more often. And what we like to do is help you, really benchmark like wellness programs that work either in our office or with other municipalities or clients that we work with as well. That's something we're interested in. Education and advocacy, those really go hand in hand. We have a great advocacy card that we provide to you and to your staff as a resource for them to be able to reach out to us directly whenever they have a question. So if they lose their ID card, if they have a question about a claim, say you get a bill for $1,000, that was a $20 bill. Instead of you reaching out to Excellus directly and having to deal with the pain that is, we want you to be reaching out to our team, and we can handle that with our experts in the office directly with our contacts at Excellus. On top of that too, if you have qualifying events throughout the year, so if you have a child that turns 26 and no longer is eligible for benefits, if you are turning 65 and becoming Medicare eligible, if you have a parent that's turning 65 and becoming Medicare eligible, if you are having a baby, getting divorced, getting married, all those different qualifying events, we can be your resource to reach out to ask those questions and concerns versus trying to figure it out for yourself. On the education side, really what this includes is we'll create a nice kit for not only your open enrollment, but for new hires as well to use throughout the year. I've seen what the kit that you guys are receiving right now through Paychecks looks like, and what ours, it's very informational, and ours is really educational. So what we want to do is make you and the staff really the, the best consumers of your health insurance and your benefit. You're paying close to $700 a month for something. You should probably know what your benefits are and what's related to that. So that's our goal as your consultants, to be that, an educator, not only showing up at open enrollment, but doing it throughout the year, helping with maybe a lunch and learn about how to utilize a health savings account, pre-tax benefits and things like that. So, compliance, we'll have you stay in compliance with the Department of Labor and the IRS. I don't know how applicable it is for you guys, since you're town, but just staying in compliance since we're authorized for responsibilities. There's certain documents that you have to have in place, and you can do that. Cobra, and yes, Cobra. So Cobra's what you have to offer. If you turn it in employee or if the employee leaves, it's something that a lot of towns don't have to deal with, and a great deal because you don't have a whole lot of turnover usually for a town. That'd be fair to say.
Right, no, we don't deal with it a lot.
Yeah, so, with that, really, if you don't do something often, you kind of forget how, or, what you need to do when that situation arises. We would handle your COBRA at no cost, and you would just let us know that somebody was terminated, and you fill out the form to do process everything and reach out to them. And then also provide them with a letter of how the New York State Health works, because a lot of times when you come out with COBRA, you're losing income since you're no longer working, you're becoming eligible for a tax credit and a benefit for the tax credit. And then we'll help you as well organize your data, make sure that your contribution strategy, not only up front makes sense, but then also that it's written down so that there's no confusion about what the contribution is based on whether you're on an employer-sponsored plan, if you're on the Medicare group policy that's available for the town, and who's eligible for what. Which I know is very rich. I think we talked about in the group Medicare side of things, but we can help kind of modernize that and make sure that it makes sense for the town and for the employees that are utilizing those coverages. And finally, on the vendor relations side, we work with all the carriers that you guys would want to work with, and we'll go to bat for you. We don't work for the carriers, we work for our clients. So we'll market that, all lines of coverage, every year, and make sure that what you have is the best fit for your organization. So I've covered a lot there on this page. Anybody have any questions on our service model? Anybody have any thoughts?
I'll say something. I've talked to you too. If you want to tell the board, how much does this cost the town?
Oh, nothing. That's thanks.
Well, they don't know that. I know that.
Right. So the way that, my job is, I guess, is pretty easy. So I get to go out and sell a free service. But the way that I would think about it is, if I was in your guys' shoes, is that if you think about the existing, there's a broker commission that's included in your premium that you pay on a monthly basis, no matter what, even if you don't have a broker. So it's 4% of your premium on the medical side of things, and then for like dental, vision, and some other lines of coverage, it's around 3%. So if you don't know who to reach out to right now, or if you don't see them throughout the year, or if when you read your open enrollment kit, it kind of feels like it's Greek, which it does. I feel like if you're not in the industry, I'm married to a teacher, so I'm well aware of trying to explain benefits to someone who's not in the industry. And telling her how lucky we are to have those benefits to us. You would look at that and say, are they earning the 4% that they're collecting for doing X, Y, or Z? I used to work at Paychecks for 4 years. I've been at Hamlin for 10. There's nothing wrong with Paychecks. It's a great company. Gives a lot of jobs to your auxiliary. The difference is our service model earns that commission versus the lack of service that you are receiving as an organization. And it's not about, we don't want to do your payroll, we don't want to do your phone, we don't want to do HR services, we want to handle your benefits. We want to make sure that not only are your compliance there, but that you're spending your money appropriately, and that your employees are spending your money appropriately, so you're not just throwing it away. And there's a lot of ways that you can basically give raises to your staff without actually more money coming from you. It's a way that you can reallocate existing funds and have it work for everybody in the organization versus just paying a higher premium that you may or may not be utilizing as a subscriber. So that's the service model, and you know, one thing that is important too is that I have a whole team behind me that I stay very involved with my clients, but I have a whole team that, you know, we have 35 people in our office and we're growing. We now are part of the Shirt Partners, which is a nationwide consulting firm on not only the benefit side but also on the general liability side as well. So we now have resources to us that that acquisition happened 2 years ago, but now we have resources to us that as a small 35-person company in Rochester, we didn't have to this point. And it's been a great transition or experience with the acquisition. Sometimes you hear horror stories about mergers and acquisitions. This has been the exact opposite, so it's been great. But we have a team that is dedicated to you and to your staff, so that you know who you're talking to, and you know the person that you're talking to has the knowledge and the experience. And one of the best things that we do is that if you do call us and we don't know the answer, we'll tell you we don't know the answer. And we'll give you a call back once we have the answer. So you know, it's about being that resource and taking that burden or the chore of you trying to figure it out for yourself now off of your plate and let us do it for you. And we'll save you a whole lot of time. We'll save you a whole lot of money. And then we'll give you that peace of mind that the information you're getting is correct. And be proactive about, you know, open enrollment and things like that. Because the rates come out Monday, September 11th. Or community groups like yourself with Excels. And I don't know if you remember last year when you got your rates, paychecks, or Excels.
Yeah, we got those rates fairly decent and in a timely manner enough for our budgets and everything. There was the rates for Medicare or some, I
Yeah,
can't
the
remember. One of the
Medicare-
rates came
Medicare
in,
group plan.
Medicare group plan, they
Yeah.
come in like after budget
When do you guys do your budget? Because I remember you mentioning.
in October. We actually got it in October.
Yeah. And that's one thing too, is with the group Medicare, not to be able to say, I don't know, but,
Well, no, this is kind of, we're just getting in because get you
Yeah.
in before a regular board.
yeah, so, sorry if I'm taking up. Am I taking up too
Fine.
much time? Okay. So on the Medicare side of things as well, so I've helped out over 800 people in Rochester region regarding direct Medicare Advantage plans, and obviously we help organizations, especially municipalities that offer like the group Medicare Advantage plan that you guys have as well. One of the really big things that you want to consider is that the direct Medicare Advantage plans through Celus and MVP, Aetna, and United Healthcare, there's zero premium policies that are available with extremely similar benefits to the group Medicare Advantage plan that you guys provide right now as a county. I'm not saying I want to come in here and change it. You know, that's not what we're saying at all. But what we want to do is provide some knowledge and provide that education so you can make the most logical decision for your organization. So with looking at the direct Medicare Advantage plans versus the group Medicare Advantage plans, the group Medicare Advantage plans, the cheapest one is around $200 a month. So you're either the town or the individual or a combination of both are spending around $2,400 a month for a policy that's very similar to what you could get at no additional cost directly through Excel indicators. So what we can do is we would do an analysis of your existing group Medicare Advantage plan, and then I can provide information about what the direct Medicare Advantage plans look like. And if you know, and this is on, do you know how much like people on the Medicare Advantage plan pay?
No, I don't read this time.
But we would do that analysis to see what they're paying, what you guys are paying, and then if it made sense, say they were paying $100 a month, and they're not, either they don't have a lot of chronic needs, or they're just going to the doctor for normal things that you go to for when you're over the age of 65. Then, you know, $1,200 a year is a pretty substantial amount of money that when you're on a fixed income, you could, if they pay like half of $200 on a monthly basis, then they could keep for themselves most of the time towards the policy. But there's a lot of options that are available.
So this is just a short thing here, guys. And girls, whatever. Well, I only got guys on the board.
Guys are on the board.
The two girls are gone right now.
Yeah,
They're not
right.
here.
So is there, my question is, and I know there's a lot more, in depth.
Well, we can have another meeting, that's what I'm asking, do we have to set up another
Is there
meeting?
this is something that if we were to make a change, would have to happen by like the 15th of November? Or can we do it midstream at any point?
You could do it anytime you want. My recommendation, and it's not just it's not me just saying do it sooner rather than later, because it could, but it's, in reality, the rates are coming out in less than 2 weeks for your January 1st renewal. You've got other lines of coverage as well. I've already talked with Steve and Megan at length about the level of service we can provide that your organization's not currently getting. And the greatest thing about us being able to become the broker is that we're not changing anything besides now the carriers are just like on the face of it. Now Celis and I forgot, you guys have dental,
Yeah.
Celis. Do you have anything else besides the dental?
No.
So like
Always a eyeglass and.
vision, but really like any other line of coverage, which again, even if you, so this is a little bit of a tangent, but say you don't have like a life insurance policy or short-term disability, long-term disability, accident, hospital indemnity policies, critical illness plans, things that can be voluntary benefits that employees can be the ones to pay the full premium, but they're going to get a better cost since it's an employer-sponsored plan, and have it come out as a payroll deduction. And if they want to go get it themselves, like think about the Catholic commercials, you can do that as an organization instead of people trying to go and get those benefits themselves and paying more. We can get all those things in place for your upcoming open enrollment, and then you could also consider that if there are savings to be seen on the medical side of things, okay, well, do we want to take those savings, do we want to reallocate those savings to provide the ability for people to maybe get a accident and critical illness plan if we move to a high deductible plan so they can help cover some of those risks. So I know there's a tangent, I'm sorry, but that's just the thought process is really rounding out your benefits to make sure that what you're offering makes the most sense. To your question though, really doing it sooner rather than later is important. You can do it at any time. You can change your broker at any time. Let's say in 2 months you're like, this market sucks. You can do it whatever you want. But the because of your open enrollment, and we're in kind of that kind of season, for us to be able to get all the information we need from the carriers, so we're not bugging you guys to get it sooner rather than later is a good time.
So decide, I mean, and I can always call Mark if you want more information, I know.
The only thing we're really getting from you is about the part, so Paychex is still doing.
Our
Paychex,
money,
the
yes.
money.
Payroll,
checks.
and we work really payroll, even though I said those things about.
No, I'm not.
I'm talking about the benefit side. We work really well with Paychex.
So right now, they're doing our benefit side, so we're just giving that to you, and then
Paycheck
Yeah.
is still doing our payroll.
Right.
Yes. And the thing is that right now, you get this feeling of everything's under one roof, so it must work really well. When in reality, nobody really communicates to each other, with different departments.
Right.
On top of that, the only thing that is connected would be the payroll deductions, but if you really think about it, you're the ones calling in or putting in payroll deduction when you run your payroll. So you're in charge of it already. And, oh, by the way, we can help you really document what those payroll deductions are, so that, and do an analysis about your contribution strategy, so that, you don't have to try to dig out what a payroll deduction would be
Sure.
for a new hire and things like that. It'll all be in that check that I gave you that just,
Yeah,
maybe we
they-
went
they-
through
they-
it. It's like a 20-page document that really just gives all the good information about the policies that are offered, and then even like the expanded benefits through Excel, so about the management fit program, gym memberships, like basically free money if you don't like just being a member of Excel.
So if you do this, if you were going to do this, you'd have to do a resolution. Okay.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, it would be a town board, and like I said, we can schedule another meeting with Mark if you guys want. Our one person has left us, that is going to resign from the board.
Okay.
But our other one actually works at, she works at a hospital. Is it strong?
Yeah.
Barb?
Yeah.
I can't remember what she might even know a little bit more about that, because she's in that, stuff. But I mean, if you want to have another meeting where we get more in depth with what he's saying instead of this, this is a short overview.
Yeah.
Could you leave an extra one of those for Jen?
Oh, yeah, yep, I've got a couple. Yeah. You can leave. And then this is what, in order for us to become the broker of the existing policies, it's called the broker of record letter. Really, all of those state that you can make us the broker of the existing plan, really do what this is like, being able to communicate with the carrier, and then receiving commissions. And it technically goes into effect the first of the month following, so it would be September 1st. But, we start working pretty early, so we don't just not do anything until the document goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody have any other questions or concerns? I know it's a lot, it's a complicated topic, it's a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but.
Nobody I do wants to.
Yeah.
It's a necessity of
It's
life.
Yeah, it's a necessary evil kind of situation, but, when you let it kind of go on autopilot, it becomes even, like, a greater danger of kind of not,
Messy.
yeah.
All right, yes, I'll talk to the board, and we'll talk to you, I'll talk to you later on and see if we can schedule another meeting with you where we can go more in depth or whatever.
Yeah.
If our other board member has more questions or
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's if everything looks good, if you guys want to be involved in like the open enrollment, like strategy meeting and things like that, to talk about the cost and the contribution strategy and things like that, I'm more than happy to be available, to do that at another board meeting or during the day or Zoom call, like whatever works best for you guys.
Right, a special meeting, so it doesn't take up a board meeting.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right,
Very
well,
good.
thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time, I really appreciate
Thank you very
it.
much.
Yeah, of course.
I know that wasn't really a public hearing, a public forum, but we had to talk about it and it was not, so we just did. Good. But now to go on. Okay, requesting town board resolution to approve the regular town board meeting minutes of August 14th, 2023. So,
Probot,
yes.
Jagger, Bettis.
Yes. Request a town board resolution to approve the payment of bills in their respective funds.
Second.
Robot,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Buzz,
Yes. Request a town board resolution to approve the public hearing meeting minutes of August 14, 2023.
Robot,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Buzz,
Yes. Request a town board resolution for the following budget transfer from general account A 1990.4 contingent budget to A 7110.4 parks contractual $3,000.
What was that for?
That's because the price of diesel fuel and everything, we're going over what the park says is money.
So
Will
moved.
that be enough to get us through the
Yes.
2 years?
That'll be enough to get us through the rest of
I'll second.
Robot,
Yes.
Yeager, Buzz,
the year. Yes. All right, from the highway DA 9060.8 medical and dental insurance to DA 5110.4 general repair salary, $3,260.32. That was just, they were getting low on their money for repair to the equipment and stuff, so, and we had a glut in that dental insurance policy, so. Just so we didn't increase the budget, we just said, all right, if you got extra money there, we'll just move it and pay the bills out of that.
So moved.
Second.
Robot,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Buzz,
Yes. Request a town board resolution to make the following budget amendment. Increase A 2001 by $15,000 and increase expense account A 7140.1 by $15,000. This is our parks, or our recreation department. With all the people, they had, the programs got a lot bigger and everything, and so they had to hire extra people, so they actually they're going to run out of money to pay the people, so we're making this thing, and it will take us through the end of the year.
But the revenue is increased also.
That's, yeah, the revenue has really increased, and that's what we're actually taking money, that's a revenue that we're taking the money from,
Right.
so,
Yeah, they made a lot.
yes. So it's not, the budget isn't really,
It's an outright, original.
yeah, I mean, it's a budget, it's a budget amendment is what we're doing, and that's why it's increase.
So moved.
Second.
Robot,
Yes.
Yeager,
Yes.
Buzz,
Yes. Discussion.
Yeah. I talked to, we got the money from Ag and Markets for the farmland protection plan finally, on advance of $62.50. And we were holding off on that until we had that before we, contracted with an engineer to consult with that plan. And I would like to ask the board if we could, contract with CPL Engineering to advise us on environmental protection. I talked with Justin Steinbach today on the phone, just because we've been in contact. He's given you a quote, months ago, and he's still interested. I told him we'd be discussing it at tonight's town board meeting, and he said if there's anything that we want him to do on his end, whatever we gotta do. They're still interested in doing it,
I would just do a resolution. Do
so,
You have the exact dollar amount to quote.
no.
I move that.
He can email another,
I've got it in my computer or something, but it's not here.
So why don't we do it on the next board?
on the next board meeting, that's fine.
No, wait, that was right.
That'd be fine.
Or, yeah, if not the exact number, I fix it, otherwise I know it wasn't over.
Yeah, and I
I know it wasn't over 35,000.
thought it was 33.
Wait till the next one, give the exact amount.
Because both
I thought it was 33
Both
also,
of
that's
them
not
are
33,
33, if I
not
recall.
gonna be over 35.
Well,
I haven't had time to look it up.
let's just get the exact, we'll do it on the next meeting. Get the
Okay.
exact number for the rest.
That's fine.
So, hearing what you just heard, do you want to schedule a meeting with Bond?
I think we just make the change, I don't.
Well, I'd like to, personally, have you talked to Sweden and Clarkson to see
Yeah,
I
that
did.
would be the
if
other.
they've been happy with their service?
I have not talked to Clarkson. I didn't think he was with Clarkson, I thought it was Park. I could be wrong, but I thought you told me.
He said he's from Clark.
I have talked,
He does Village of Rockport, Sweden, and Clarkson
is what he said.
on the west side.
But I thought
mentioned those.
when he was talking to me, I thought he said Pound.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I have called Sweden, yes.
I don't think Jennifer being a nurse makes her any more of a resident specialist. I think if this is all, we're just changing this, we're not changing the money amount, I mean, payroll. And this is sort of keeping in line with the other municipalities in this area.
Sweden is very happy with him.
Did they,
Yeah, it's only time I
people are
got.
betting on, that they're happy with them. Do they also switch over from paycheck?
Sweden also switched over from paycheck, yes.
I don't know if we need a meeting.
I wouldn't.
I was
let him
bored,
more
I'll tell you, because
information about it.
I don't want to go through another presentation. I'd rather have pens stuck in my eyes than have to go and listen to that again. I don't care. People don't, okay. So I would just,
I think he gave a lot, I mean, he really did, he's not gonna give you any more detail than that. I mean, it's not costing us anything, it's gonna be really, he gave to the benefit of the commission, so.
I just wanted him to do the study. I'd like to see what, remember he said about the study, they couldn't save this money by different, I'd like to see that study.
Yeah, I'd like to see it too.
That, I guess that would be the thing that I wanna see on him. I wanna see the study. And I can tell him to do that without a meeting.
A little comparison.
I can tell him to do that without a meeting.
because if you already vetted it for the other towns.
And see if he can save us any money more.
Yeah, I don't think we narrowed the, I think we need an RV for some other stuff, like the sewer stuff we have to talk
Right.
about last night, that stuff is very
No, I would
important.
agree.
This
I
is
would
not-
like to see a couple of examples and.
I'd like to see the
specific examples
comparison.
and have Jennifer chance to chime in also before we vote on it. You want to email something like that out to us before the next one board meeting.
Yeah, I can contact him and ask him about stuff. That's fine.
I don't think it's anything we got to vote
No. Just wanna know if you wanna go any farther or not.
on.
That's all I'm just asking. We're not voting on anything
We're
tonight.
looking into.
I just wanna know if you want me to pursue it farther and ask for like a comparison.
I mean, you can get a look, like a bridge like that, I don't think we need a meeting. I think we have other discussions we have to, we should probably get together on other than about.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of comparisons and examples would be.
Okay. Like I said, I can do that and just bring it to you, that's fine. Just didn't know if you wanted me to pursue it,
Yeah,
but,
I think it's good for some.
Yeah.
okay. No, I'm just looking at any other discussion, I actually have anything we need to.
Did you want to start making,
Budget hearings, no, we're not gonna do yet, I mean,
starting what?
we have to discuss, but we should have a meeting, we have to discuss how big of a raise we think, what we set the limit at or whatever. There is a 2% tax cap that the state has imposed because it's always 2% or the rate of inflation if it's lower. Well, the rate of inflation is 6 point some odd percent, anyway, so it's a 2% tax cap that we have.
I wish we could do more performance raises than we do. flat. But then everybody's gonna say, wow, that person is doing so wonderful. But
We can discuss that during the budget
I
hearing.
think,
That's fine.
I think a lot of places are doing that. They're doing a lot more, doing actual performance raises rather than, so some people would get a 2, some might get a 3. But it should be based on performance, and the person, you know, it's asking for really has to come with some detail on why that is.
Right. Just give up why you think we should. I'm not saying, I don't want to see deserve, I'm trying to think of why.
Well, their performance, I mean, there's, like, if
Right.
they bring something to the table, they're innovative, they're progressive, they sit there and they come up with things that are helpful for the town and also the
Right.
economic drive of it, then, yeah, I would think.
Exactly, I just didn't know how to word that. You're right, exactly.
Then we should do it.
And we've discussed it during budget hearing.
And more than this showing up. Right?
Right. But that's not gonna be for the, we got time for all that. I did send the sheets around to every office so they can start filling out at least a couple of weeks ago.
And then, yeah, start setting up interviews for the
Oh, yes.
board positions and for the, and we have to put in the end, I guess, for the clerk's position.
Yes. But that's all just fresh, so we'll have to do that next meeting. Answer that. I don't have a letter of resignation, so I have to add, it's kinda hard to put it in the paper and advertise somebody you don't have a letter of resignation for.
Right.
So,
Barring further business, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
No, I'm gonna need somebody else to do these, because technically I can't sign them until I get 3.